GM's future in the spotlight at the White House tonight. CEO Mary Barra is quoted as saying a private meeting with the president was productive and valuable. It comes as GM takes the lead in union talks and heat for plant closings.
General Motors just made a move so bold, it has Donald Trump completely losing it. And this changes everything. General Motors has been an American icon representing resilience and innovation. But in a shocking twist, the automotive giant has made decisions that challenge Trump's America First policies. But why did GM take such a massive risk? What has Trump done in response that's turning heads? And how will this showdown impact American jobs, consumers, and the future of the automotive market? Stick around, because this affects us all. What's happening? It all started when General Motors, one of America's most iconic automotive brands, decided to publicly announce its shift in focus toward international production. This bold move, which included ramping up operations in Mexico and exploring global manufacturing opportunities, sent shockwaves through the American political and industrial landscape. For decades, GM has been synonymous with American innovation and resilience, a brand that symbolized the strength of U.S. manufacturing. However, the company's decision to expand overseas has sparked controversy, particularly among those who see this as a betrayal of its American roots. General Motors has argued that their global strategy is a necessity in today's competitive environment. With the cost of production rising and consumer demand rapidly changing, the automaker explained that producing vehicles outside the United States allows them to remain competitive. By reducing costs and tapping into global supply chains, GM claimed they could offer more affordable vehicles while continuing to innovate. However, this reasoning did not sit well with President Donald Trump, who has championed the idea of prioritizing American workers and keeping manufacturing jobs within U.S. borders. Trump's vocal criticism of companies that outsource jobs has been a cornerstone of his economic agenda. He has long criticized automakers for offshoring production to save costs at the expense of American workers. General Motors' announcement provided Trump with an opportunity to reignite his America First rhetoric, accusing the company of prioritizing profits over patriotism. This set the stage for what would become an intense public confrontation between GM and Trump, marking a significant turning point for the American auto industry. As the clash between GM and Trump began to take shape, the tension only escalated with GM's unexpected decision to dive headfirst into the electric vehicle market. GM's bold move toward electric vehicles. While GM's global strategy drew criticism, it was their announcement to accelerate electric vehicle production that truly ignited the conflict. In a time when automakers around the world are pivoting toward sustainability, GM unveiled its ambitious plan to phase out gas-powered vehicles by 2035. The company committed billions of dollars to the development of electric vehicles, including the construction of state-of-the-art battery plants. GM's leadership positioned this move as essential for staying ahead of market trends and addressing global climate concerns. The transition to electric vehicles required significant investment in resources like lithium, cobalt, and nickel, materials that are primarily sourced and processed outside of the United States. This reliance on international supply chains clashed directly with Trump's protectionist policies, which aimed to bring production back to U.S. soil. Trump and his supporters viewed GM's electric vehicle pivot not as a step toward progress, but as a departure from the company's commitment to American workers. The announcement fueled Trump's accusations that GM was abandoning its roots for the sake of global profits. Despite the criticism, GM argued that electric vehicles represented the future of the industry. They emphasized their commitment to building a sustainable future and reducing carbon emissions, a move that they believed aligned with the values of modern consumers. However, the company's decision also raised questions about the feasibility of balancing global sustainability goals with national economic interests. The electric vehicle shift highlighted the growing divide between GM's corporate strategy and Trump's economic vision. As GM doubled down on its commitment to electric vehicles, Trump's response became increasingly fiery, turning the disagreement into a full-blown political battle. Trump's public outrage. Trump wasted no time in responding to GM's announcements. At a rally reminiscent of his presidential campaigns, he took the stage to condemn the automaker for its actions. "We built General Motors, the American worker built GM, and this is how they repay us?" he exclaimed, sparking applause and chants from the crowd. His words were not just criticism, they were a rallying cry that framed GM's decisions as a betrayal of American workers and values. In the weeks that followed, Trump escalated his rhetoric, using every platform at his disposal to voice his discontent. From television interviews to social media posts, he repeatedly accused GM of abandoning its responsibilities to the nation. Trump's message was clear. GM's global expansion and electric vehicle push were evidence of a corporation prioritizing profits over loyalty to the United States. He even floated the possibility of imposing tariffs on GM's imports as a way to force the company to rethink its strategy. With the automotive industry and local economies caught in the crossfire, the stage was set for an even more contentious battle in the chapters to come. Trump's tariff threats. Tensions between Donald Trump and General Motors escalated. Trump unveiled his next move, a proposal to impose steep tariffs on GM's imported vehicles. In a fiery press conference, Trump declared, "We are done letting American companies take advantage of our workers. If GM thinks it can outsource jobs and still thrive in this country, it is sorely mistaken." The tariff threat was a direct challenge to GM's global strategy and a calculated attempt to bring production back to American soil. The tariffs, which Trump suggested could reach as high as 25% on all imported GM vehicles and parts, were not just an economic measure, they were a message. Trump's administration framed the move as part of a broader effort to protect American workers and industries, ensuring that automakers prioritize domestic production over cheaper international operations. However, the reality was far more complicated. Industry experts warned that the tariffs could backfire, raising production costs and ultimately vehicle prices. For GM, the increased cost of importing parts and vehicles could undermine their competitiveness in the market. This would likely force the automaker to pass on the costs to consumers, making their vehicles less affordable and potentially driving buyers toward competitors. The proposed tariffs also sparked debates about their potential ripple effects. Critics argued that they could harm not only GM, but also the broader US auto industry. Suppliers, dealerships, and local businesses that relied on GM's operations faced uncertainty about the future. Meanwhile, Trump's supporters saw the tariffs as a necessary measure to hold corporations accountable and bring jobs back to the United States. While Trump ramped up his economic offensive, GM's leadership was equally determined to defend its global strategy and commitment to innovation. GM's defense. In response to Trump's escalating rhetoric and tariff threats, General Motors doubled down on its defense, emphasizing its commitment to innovation and sustainability. The automaker reiterated its ambitious goal to transition to an all-electric fleet by the year 2035, positioning itself as a leader in the global push towards sustainability. GM's leadership argued that their focus on electric vehicles was not only a business necessity, but also a response to shifting consumer preferences and environmental imperative. GM Chief Executive Officer Mary Barra issued a statement highlighting the company's investments in EV production. Barra pointed out that GM had committed over $35 billion to electric vehicle development and infrastructure, including the construction of cutting-edge battery plants in Michigan, Tennessee, and Ohio. She emphasized that these investments would create thousands of American jobs, underscoring the company's commitment to supporting the U.S. economy while staying competitive in the global market. However, GM's reliance on international supply chains for critical EV components, such as lithium-ion batteries, left the company vulnerable to criticism. Trump and his supporters seized on this point, accusing GM of prioritizing global partnerships over domestic production. GM defended its approach, explaining that sourcing materials internationally was essential to meet the growing demand for electric vehicles at competitive prices. The automaker also highlighted its efforts to establish domestic partnerships for processing critical minerals, aiming to reduce reliance on international suppliers over time. Despite these assurances, the tension between GM's global ambitions and Trump's America First agenda remained at the forefront of the debate. As GM defended its electric vehicle strategy, the conflict began to take a toll on the company's public image and its relationship with consumers. Public backlash and consumer reaction. The ongoing feud between General Motors and Donald Trump did not go unnoticed by the American public. Across the country, heated debates erupted over GM's decisions and Trump's response. For many consumers, the controversy raised questions about loyalty, values, and the future of the automotive industry. Supporters of Trump's America First policies viewed GM's global strategy as a betrayal. Protests outside GM dealerships became a common sight, with demonstrators calling for the company to prioritize American jobs and manufacturing. Slogans like "Buy American, Build American" echoed Trump's rhetoric, resonating with factory workers and small-town communities that relied on GM's presence. Meanwhile, some consumers took a more pragmatic view of the situation. They recognized the challenges facing automakers in a rapidly changing market and acknowledged the necessity of global partnerships to remain competitive. For these individuals, GM's commitment to sustainability and electric vehicles outweighed the controversy surrounding its international operations. However, the uncertainty created by the conflict began to impact consumer confidence. Potential car buyers worried about rising prices due to potential tariffs and questioned whether GM's electric vehicle strategy would lead to longer wait times or limited options. The controversy also fueled concerns about whether GM could maintain its reputation as an iconic American brand while pursuing a global strategy. As consumer confidence wavered, the broader implications of the GM-Trump conflict began to ripple across the industry, raising questions about the future of American manufacturing. Industry and economic implications. The conflict between GM and Trump quickly grew beyond the two entities, sending shockwaves through the broader automotive industry and the U.S. economy. Industry analysts began to weigh in on the potential consequences of Trump's threats to impose tariffs on GM imports. The proposed tariffs, which could reach as high as 25%, would undoubtedly raise the cost of production for the automaker. This in turn could lead to higher prices for consumers, making GM vehicles less competitive in the market. The ripple effects extended beyond GM, with other automakers and suppliers closely monitoring the situation. Companies like Ford, Toyota, and Stellantis face similar challenges as they balance global production with domestic expectations. Industry insiders speculated that Trump's actions could set a precedent for how corporations navigated the intersection of business and politics moving forward. The economic implications were also significant for local communities. Many towns that relied on GM plants for employment and economic stability braced for potential layoffs and reduced business activity. Restaurants, repair shops, and other small businesses that served GM employees feared the fallout from a prolonged conflict between the automaker and Trump. On a national scale, the dispute reignited debates about trade policies, tariffs, and the role of corporations in shaping the U.S. economy. With the automotive industry at a crossroads, the stakes of the GM-Trump showdown continued to rise, setting the stage for even greater consequences in the chapters ahead. The evolution of GM's global strategy. General Motors' strategy has always been rooted in adaptability, but the conflict with Donald Trump has put its global approach under a microscope. The automaker's international presence wasn't built overnight. It's the result of decades of calculated moves to address shifts in consumer demand, regulatory changes, and technological advancements. This historical context sheds light on why GM's decision to expand production abroad is not as sudden as it seems. In the 80s and 90s, GM responded to global competition by establishing manufacturing hubs in Mexico, Canada, and China. These decisions were driven by the need to reduce costs and tap into growing markets. Fast forward to the 21st century, and GM's shift to electric vehicles has added a new layer of complexity. Production abroad allows the automaker to source key materials like lithium and cobalt more efficiently, while also addressing emission standards in Europe and Asia. While these strategies made sense for a globalized economy, Trump's America First agenda challenges their viability. For GM, the stakes are higher than ever. It must balance its need for international competitiveness with the growing political demand for domestic production. This evolution reflects the broader challenges facing multinational corporations in a world increasingly divided by trade tensions and nationalist policies. As GM's global strategy continues to evolve, its leadership faces unprecedented pressure from both the political and economic fronts. Leadership in the crosshairs. Center of the GM-Trump conflict are the individuals tasked with steering the automaker through turbulent waters. Chief Executive Officer Mary Barra has found herself in a unique and unenviable position, balancing the demands of shareholders, employees, and government officials. Barra's leadership style has been characterized by a forward-looking vision, particularly her commitment to transitioning GM to an all-electric future. However, this vision has drawn criticism from Trump, who views it as a departure from traditional American manufacturing values. Barra's decision to expand production abroad, particularly in countries like Mexico and China, has made her a focal point of Trump's rhetoric, with the president accusing her of prioritizing profits over patriotism. Within GM, Barra's leadership has been both praised and scrutinized. While many executives support her push for innovation, others worry about the political and economic risks of clashing with the White House. This internal tension mirrors the broader challenges facing corporate leaders who must navigate the complex intersection of business and politics. For Barra, the conflict is not just about GM, it's about defining her legacy as one of the most influential leaders in the automotive industry. The decisions she makes in response to Trump's pressure will shape not only GM's future, but also her own reputation as a trailblazer in a male-dominated field. While GM's strategic decisions and Trump's escalating responses dominate the headlines, the underlying question remains: how do these conflicts reshape the broader narrative of American industry and global competition? Redefining the role of software in automotive innovation. General Motors is no longer just a manufacturer of vehicles, it is transforming into a tech-driven company. Central to this transformation is its increased investment in software development, particularly in areas such as autonomous driving and vehicle connectivity. With cars evolving into smart devices on wheels, GM has recognized that the future of the industry lies not only in electrification, but also in advanced technologies that enhance safety, convenience, and functionality. The company's proprietary software platform, Ultifi, is designed to revolutionize how customers interact with their vehicles. Ultifi integrates artificial intelligence, cloud connectivity, and over-the-air updates, offering a dynamic experience that evolves with the customer's needs. From personalized entertainment to real-time diagnostics, this software enables GM to build long-term customer relationships through ongoing services and features. This software-driven approach also creates new revenue streams for GM. Subscription-based features like enhanced driver assistance systems or premium in-car services allow the company to monetize vehicles long after the initial sale. In fact, GM has projected that software and services could generate tens of billions of dollars annually by the end of the decade. As GM embraces the digital revolution, its investments in next-generation manufacturing processes are reshaping the traditional automotive production model. The rise of modular manufacturing and 3D printing. To meet the demands of the rapidly changing automotive market, GM has adopted innovative manufacturing techniques, including modular design and 3D printing. Modular manufacturing allows the company to streamline production by using standardized components that can be easily adapted across multiple vehicle models. This approach not only reduces production costs, but also increases flexibility, enabling GM to respond quickly to market trends and consumer preferences. One of the most exciting advancements in GM's production process is its use of 3D printing technology. By printing components on demand, GM can drastically reduce waste, optimize supply chains, and shorten production timelines. For example, the company has successfully used 3D printing to produce lightweight parts for electric vehicles, enhancing both performance and energy efficiency. This innovative approach has also extended to sustainability. General Motors has introduced initiatives to recycle 3D printed materials and incorporate renewable resources into its production lines. By embracing these cutting-edge techniques, GM is setting new standards for manufacturing efficiency and environmental responsibility. While GM's manufacturing innovations are reshaping its production capabilities, its focus on building strategic partnerships is equally critical to its transformation. Forging strategic alliances for future growth. In today's interconnected world, no company can thrive in isolation. Recognizing this, GM has prioritized forming strategic partnerships to accelerate innovation and expand its market reach. These collaborations span across industries, encompassing technology companies, energy providers, and even competitors. One of GM's most notable partnerships is with Honda, aimed at co-developing affordable electric vehicles using a shared platform. This collaboration leverages the strengths of both companies to produce vehicles that are not only cost-effective but also technologically advanced. Similarly, GM has partnered with battery manufacturers to secure a steady supply of critical materials like lithium and nickel, ensuring that it can meet the growing demand for EVs. GM's alliances also extend to renewable energy providers. The company has entered into agreements to source renewable electricity for its factories, aiming to achieve carbon neutrality by the year 2040. This commitment to sustainability not only aligns with consumer values, but also strengthens GM's brand as a leader in green innovation. As GM builds strategic alliances, its growing focus on the consumer experience is transforming how it engages with its customers. Now let's talk about how global competitors are shaping the future of automotive innovation and sustainability in ways that challenge GM GM's position. Tesla's disruption and the challenge for legacy automakers. Tesla has redefined the automotive industry, setting a benchmark for electric vehicles that traditional automakers are racing to meet. Unlike General Motors, which must juggle legacy manufacturing practices, Tesla was built from the ground up with an electric-first approach. This difference gives Tesla an edge in areas like battery technology, production efficiency, and branding. One of Tesla's most notable advantages lies in its vertically integrated business model. By manufacturing its batteries in-house and controlling its supply chain, Tesla has achieved cost efficiencies and innovation speeds that many legacy automakers, including GM, find difficult to replicate. Tesla's gigafactories, strategically located across the globe, symbolize this integration and its commitment to scaling EV production. While GM focuses on transitioning to electric vehicles while maintaining its existing internal combustion engine offerings, Tesla continues to push boundaries with advancements in autonomous driving and energy storage solutions. For GM, Tesla represents both a competitor and an industry model, highlighting the challenges and opportunities of embracing a fully electric future. As Tesla pushes innovation forward, other international competitors such as Toyota are taking a different approach to the rapidly evolving automotive landscape. Toyota's dual strategy of hybrid leadership and hydrogen innovation. Toyota, unlike Tesla, has carved its niche as a leader in hybrid technology while cautiously stepping into the electric vehicle market. The Toyota Prius revolutionized the hybrid sector, and the company continues to rely on this expertise as it balances consumer demand for sustainable options with hesitancy to fully commit to EVs. What sets Toyota apart is its focus on hydrogen fuel cell technology. While most automakers, including GM, are heavily invested in battery-powered EVs, Toyota has doubled down on hydrogen as a complementary solution for decarbonization. The Toyota Mirai, a hydrogen-powered vehicle, is at the forefront of this strategy, offering an alternative for markets where hydrogen infrastructure is being developed. Toyota's global production strategy also stands in contrast to GM's recent controversies. The company is known for its efficient and decentralized manufacturing model, which allows it to adapt to local markets without drawing political criticism. Toyota's balanced approach to hybrid, electric, and hydrogen technologies provides a unique perspective on how automakers can diversify their sustainability strategies. While Toyota pioneers alternative solutions, European automakers are setting a high bar for luxury and sustainability, particularly through brands like BMW and Volkswagen. The European perspective, BMW and Volkswagen's sustainability drive. European automakers have embraced sustainability not just as a trend, but as a core philosophy. BMW and Volkswagen in particular are leading the charge with ambitious goals for electrification and environmental responsibility. These brands are not only transitioning their fleets to EVs, but also overhauling their entire supply chains to reduce carbon emissions. BMW's Neue Klasse platform showcases its commitment to innovation. This next-generation EV architecture focuses on maximizing range, efficiency, and sustainability by integrating advanced battery technology and lightweight materials. BMW's approach emphasizes premium quality, appealing to consumers who demand both luxury and environmental consciousness. Volkswagen, on the other hand, is scaling its EV efforts with a focus on affordability and accessibility. Its ID series has positioned the brand as a serious competitor in the mass market EV space. Moreover, Volkswagen has committed to becoming carbon neutral by the year 2050, a goal supported by investments in renewable energy and sustainable manufacturing practices. These European automakers highlight how legacy brands can navigate the challenges of electrification while maintaining their heritage. Their strategies differ from GM's in scale and focus, but underscore the shared industry-wide commitment to sustainability. As legacy automakers adapt to the electric revolution, emerging brands from China are rapidly reshaping the global automotive landscape with innovation and scale. The rise of Chinese automakers, a new global powerhouse. While GM and other legacy automakers navigate the complexities of transitioning to electric vehicles, Chinese companies like BYD and NIO are rapidly rising as formidable competitors. China has positioned itself as a leader in EV production, supported by government policies, vast resources, and a rapidly growing domestic market. BYD is now one of the world's largest EV manufacturers, offering a range of vehicles from compact cars to electric buses. Its vertical integration model, which includes battery production and recycling, mirrors Tesla's approach but on a larger scale. This gives BYD a significant cost advantage, allowing it to dominate both domestic and international markets. NIO, often referred to as the Tesla of China, has focused on innovation and customer experience. Its battery swapping technology, which allows drivers to replace depleted batteries in minutes, addresses one of the major pain points of EV adoption. NIO has also introduced premium services like dedicated charging stations and lifestyle memberships, setting a new standard for customer engagement. The rise of Chinese automakers poses a unique challenge to companies like GM. Not only are they competing on price and scale, but they are also redefining consumer expectations for innovation and service. As Chinese brands expand globally, they are forcing legacy automakers to rethink their strategies and adapt to an increasingly competitive market. And there you have it, the full picture of the heated showdown between GM and Donald Trump, and how it could reshape the future of American industry. The stakes couldn't be higher, and this conflict has far-reaching implications for consumers, businesses, and workers alike. What do you think? Should GM prioritize global innovation or stay true to its American roots? Do Trump's policies help or hurt industries like automotive? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. We'd love to hear from you.